Isn't it wild that there are folks out there who live life on the edge, doing stuff that just seems to defy all the norms? I'm talking about folks who seem to have these crazy powers or skills. They make you question if everything we learned about physics was even true. Let's dive into the world of these individuals, getting a sneak peek into their incredible stories. 10. The Maasai Tribe. Have you ever checked out the Maasai warriors? These folks from the African plains are something else. They can jump insanely high, like up to 3 feet off the ground, all on their own. Now think about that compared to the usual 1-foot hop most of us can do. Yeah, these guys are rocking some major leg strength. So, what's the deal with their incredible jumping skills? It's not just for showing off, it's a big part of their culture. The Maasai call these jumping masters Morans, and they do this epic leap during cultural dances, showing off their energy and strength, all while keeping in rhythm with the tribal songs and chants. Now, this jumping talent isn't just something they're born with, they work hard for it. Maasai kids start training early, leaping over sticks and working their way up to bigger challenges, like jumping over animals. It's all about proving themselves, earning their stripes as warriors. Their jump technique is like a science and art mashup. They bend down, power up, and blast off, using nothing but their legs. And it's not just a simple hop, there's technique involved, with arm swings to help them reach even greater heights. For anyone wanting to jump higher, the Maasai are like jumping coaches. Their practice is packed with plyometric action, those explosive moves that athletes use to boost their jump game. It's amazing to think about bringing that kind of raw, powerful skill into sports or workout routines. Really, the Maasai warriors are not just jumping for fun. They're showing us what humans can do with the right mix of tradition, training, and talent. Next time you aim high, remember the Maasai. It's about jumping with not just your legs, but with spirit and a sense of history. 9. The Kamanche Tribe. Hop on. Let's take a trip down memory lane to the times of the Kamanche, the big shots of the southern Great Plains around the 18th and 19th centuries. These nomadic horse lovers were known as Kamanche, a name that pretty much meant always ready for a throwdown, and they sure did justice to that. Originally, they were part of the Shoshone gang up in Wyoming, but decided to hit the road southward, edging out tribes like the Apache to claim their new stomping grounds. With their numbers yo-yoing from 7,000 to 30,000, they were definitely not just passing through. Language-wise, these folks were setting trends, using a northern Uto-Aztecan tongue that became the popular lingo around the area. They had their groups like the Yamparika, Kotsotika, Panatika, Nokoni, and Quahadis, all tight with family and buddies. Now let's talk lifestyle. Buffaloes were their everything. From clothes to house stuff, even their barter system. And horses? They were masters at taming them, thanks to snagging some from the Spanish, making the plains their own speedy highway. Their raiding skills were top-notch, stretching their territory even into what's now Mexico, grabbing goods, more horses, and sometimes people to boost their ranks. Iconic figures like Quanah Parker from the Quahadi and the Southern Penateca, who got themselves a piece of Oklahoma, emerged from this era. But of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. They had their run-ins with U.S. military, with folks like Colonel Kit Carson in the mix, keeping tensions high. Despite making some deals with the U.S., like the 1865 treaty giving them a piece of Oklahoma land, real peace was hard to come by. These agreements often fell apart, leading to more standoffs, until the 1867 Medicine Lodge Creek treaties attempted to settle things, giving them and their allies, the Kiowa and Kiowa Apache, a designated spot in Oklahoma. But as it goes, these treaties were more like pause buttons, and the Comanche's story on the plains was this intense mix of fight, talk, and unyielding drive. 8. The Moken Tribe. Let's take a plunge into a fascinating story about the sea gypsies of Southeast Asia, who seem like real-life mermaids and mermen with their mind-blowing skills in the water. These folks, especially the children, are experts in finding stuff underwater, which is as cool as any ocean legend you've heard. Right at the center of this amazing water world are the Moken children. They live around the waters between Burma and Thailand and have this amazing talent to see underwater as clearly as if it were a crystal-clear day. There's this scientist, Anna Ghislaine from Lund University, who got hooked by stories about how these kids can spot the tiniest things in the water without wearing any diving gear. So, Ghislaine decided to test it out. She compared 6 Moken kids with 28 European kids to see who could see better underwater. And guess what? The Moken kids were like super divers, seeing things in the water that the others just couldn't, grabbing attention with their skills in a study published in Current Biology. Digging deeper, using some fancy infrared video cameras, they found out the Moken kids could squint their eyes to super small, like the tip of a needle, helping them focus and see things underwater way better than most people. But here comes the kicker. Is this awesome underwater ability something the Moken are born with, or is it something they pick up from living so close to the sea? Although their long history of living on the water might give them a natural edge, Ghislaine's research hinted that even kids who usually stay on land could get pretty good at this underwater seeing trick if they practice. So, it's still a bit of a mystery whether the Moken kids come into the world ready to rock the underwater world or if they just get good at it by living the sea life. But one thing's for certain, when it comes to seeing clearly under the sea, the Moken children are in a league of their own. 7. Levitating Performers. Have you ever been walking through a busy place and spotted a performer who looks like they're floating in the air? Yep, I'm talking about those levitating street artists who make you stop and stare, wondering how they're pulling off such a mind-bending trick. These artists, they're kind of like those living statues you see around, but they've got a special twist. They seem to be hanging out in mid-air, leaning on a staff, all while wearing these big, flowy outfits, turbans and masks, kind of giving off a mysterious vibe, often with a bit of a Middle Eastern or Indian flair. Now, you might be wondering, how do they do it? Well, it's not magic or some kind of supernatural power. It's all about some pretty nifty engineering. Hidden under those elaborate clothes is a clever setup that keeps them up in the air. That's right. The real trick is in the gear they've got rigged up. Here's how they nail the illusion. There's a solid metal structure that's all part of their secret. This thing is designed so the performer can sit pretty and look like they're defying gravity. The staff, it's not just for show, it actually has a job, connecting to a platform they're sitting on, running right up their sleeve, and it's all anchored to the ground. So, mystery solved. What looks like a magical feat is actually a brilliant combo of design and disguise, showing that sometimes the most enchanting things have a down-to-earth explanation. 6. A real-life human battery. Get ready for a story about a dude who could totally outshine even the Energizer Bunny. We're talking about Slavica Pajkic from Serbia, who's also rocking the nickname Battery Man. Why? Because he's literally a human power plant doing stuff with electricity that just blows the mind. So Biba, as his friends call him, stumbled upon his shocking ability when he was just 17 and has been dazzling folks ever since. Here's the kicker. While a tiny zap of 50 volts could make any of us freak out, Slavica can handle, get this, a jaw-dropping 20,000 volts. Back in 1983, he didn't just take that jolt, he totally rocked it, bagging his first Guinness World Record. Then, in 2003, he turned up the wow factor by heating a cup of water to 97 degrees Celsius in under 2 minutes, snagging another world record. But Slavica's not just about the flashy tricks. He says he can act as an insulator, a conductor, and even a heater, depending on the need. What's his secret? It's kind of a mystery, but the buzz is that it's because he's missing some glands, which makes his skin act like a super insulator. So instead of the electricity zapping through him, it just glides over his skin. Battery Man is a total blast at gatherings, lighting up bulbs or cooking sausages just by touching them. He's not just a local sensation, he's been showing off his skills all over the globe and is even planning to break a record with a 1,000,000-volt generator and some laser-like action from his fingers. I mean, that's superhero level, right? While he's prepping for his next big moment, Slavica isn't just lounging around. He's using his extraordinary gift to help people, giving a bit of relief to those dealing with headaches, sinus problems, and back pain. So yeah, Slavica, the Battery Man, is not only a mystery wrapped in a riddle, but also a guy with a big heart, zapping problems away with his electric touch. 5. The artist with photographic memory. Let me introduce you to Stephen Wiltshire, a true superstar from the British art world. This guy has such an incredible skill that people wait in line for ages just to get their hands on his art. And man, when he creates one of his amazing city scenes, it gets everyone talking. big style. Going back to his school days, things were quite different. Stephen was diagnosed with autism when he was just 3 and was the kid who didn't say much but had a magical way with drawing. He actually started talking with the word paper at 5, but by then he was already making cool drawings, from animals to funny sketches of his teachers, all done super accurately. What really got Stephen noticed was his passion for drawing cities, something that kicked off after he saw the view of London from up high, thanks to his sister Annette. That's when his love for sketching buildings and streets really took off. Here's a kicker. At 8 years old, Stephen got a job from the British Prime Minister. Even though speaking was tough for him, his drawings did all the talking, leading to a published book of his art by the time he was 13 and shooting him into the spotlight. His ability to remember and draw every little detail about a place wowed everyone. Then, Stephen took his talent to the next level in New York, sketching the home of Oliver Sacks, a famous brain expert, after just a quick look. That left everyone, including Sacks, totally amazed. Stephen kept going, drawing breathtaking scenes of cities like Venice and Sydney, all from memory, capturing their essence in stunning detail. Even in New York, Stephen, with his incredible memory, had a funny moment of getting lost, showing there's a real person behind the genius. He got royal recognition too. In 2006, Prince Charles gave him an Order of the British Empire, a huge nod to his journey from being quiet to a world-renowned artist. Now Stephen has his own art spot in London, even greeting visitors at Heathrow Airport with a photo. He's still the humble guy whose art speaks volumes, managed by his sister Annette, who's proud of how far he's come. Stephen Wiltshire, with his silent yet expressive way of connecting, stands as a giant in the art world, proving that sometimes the loudest messages come without words. 4. Incredible Indian street chef plunges bare hands into boiling oil to fry bhajis. Guess what? There's this guy, Prem Kumar, a 65-year-old cooking genius from New Delhi, making waves in Karol Bagh with his street food magic. He's famous for frying fish directly with his hands, no kidding. Every day he whips out 150 kilograms of this crunchy wonder, drawing in crowds eager to see his amazing skill. Kumar doesn't always dive in hands first, he's got his regular cooking gear. But when folks crave a bit of drama, he shows off by dunking his hands into boiling oil, thanks to a trick he inherited from his dad, who started their food spot in 1960. Don't be too shocked, though. It's not about magic, it's his impressive know-how and a cool science trick called the Leidenfrost effect. Here's how it works. Kumar dips his hands in cold water first, then into the hot oil. This creates a quick steam layer, protecting him from getting burned, kind of like how you can dash across hot coals and be okay. People like Samesh Patnaik just can't get enough of watching Kumar's daredevil cooking, grabbing fish out of oil that's hotter than a Delhi summer day, turning them into perfect bites. This place isn't only about the heat-defying act, it's a treasure trove of North Indian food, from spicy kebabs to mouth-watering tandoori aloo, all served super clean thanks to the germ-killing power of that hot oil. Kumar hopes his son, Deepak, will carry on this blazing tradition, showing that this unique skill might just run in the family. And here's something else. Kumar isn't the only one with this talent. Over in Chiang Mai, Thailand, there's Kan Superhands Trichen, a chef doing similar unbelievable things, proving this incredible ability isn't just a one-man show, but a worldwide wonder. 3. The girl with X-ray vision. Alright, have you ever heard about Natasha Demkina from Saransk, Russia? She's this girl who made waves with her claim that she can see through people, kind of like having X-ray vision. This all started after she had surgery when she was just 10 years old, back in 1987. So Natasha starts saying she can look inside people and see what's up with their health. It kicks off with her mom, then word spreads like wildfire. Next thing you know, people are queuing up to get checked by her, hoping she'd solve their health puzzles. She even tested her skills at a local hospital, impressing doctors by spotting health issues on the spot, from serious stomach problems to correcting a wrong cancer suspicion. Natasha describes her ability as if she's got this on-off switch, turning her special vision on to scan people, sort of like she's a human MRI machine. Her story gets so big, it crosses over to the UK, where she's on TV impressing folks by pointing out a hidden health issue in a doctor. Then there's this big moment with a documentary by the Discovery Channel putting her under the microscope in New York with some serious skeptics. While she faced mixed reactions in Tokyo, she passed more tests, proving her skills by identifying things like an artificial knee and even confirming someone's pregnancy. Natasha didn't just sit back. She opened a clinic in Russia, mixing her unique checking with traditional and alternative health methods, running it until 2006. She had her way of doing things, insisting on knowing the full health background of her subjects before scanning them. Despite all the side eyes and doubts from skeptics, Natasha's story kept people hooked, dangling between being seen as a medical wonder and just a tall tale. She's like this intriguing blend of mystery and reality that keeps folks guessing whether she's the real deal or not. 2. The fastest human calculator. So let me tell you about this incredible guy from Hyderabad, India. His name is Nilakantha Bhanu Prakash, and folks call him the world's fastest human calculator. Can you believe he processes numbers at a rate of 12 per second? That's like way faster than we can even blink. Bhanu isn't just quick with numbers, he's also a record breaker. He grabbed a gold medal at the Mental Calculation World Championship in the Mind Sports Olympiad in London, and get this, he's the first Asian and non-European to do so. He's left competitors all over the globe just trying to catch up with his number-crunching skills. But there's more to Bhanu than just his fast brain. His story could totally be a film. When he was 5, he had a bad accident that made a lot of people worry about his future, but instead of giving up, he used that time to get into chess, puzzles, and eventually numbers, which paved the way for his mind-bending achievements. Bhanu insists he's not just a naturally gifted prodigy. He believes in hard work and strategy, breaking down complex problems into simple bits that he can solve super fast. He's not just quick, he's smart and methodical. His collection of awards is massive, with honors from all over the world. And who does he look up to? None other than Shakuntala Devi, India's own math genius. Bhanu's dream is big. He wants to change how society sees math. For him, math is this amazing universe full of mysteries to unravel. He started exploring infinities, which is all about making math learning exciting and kicking out the fear of numbers. High-ranking folks in India praise him for his brainy feats and his push to change the math game. Now, Bhanu is thinking about stepping away from math competitions to focus on helping people get over their math jitters. With someone like Bhanu Prakash leading the charge, we could be on the verge of a fun math revolution. 1. Famed magnetic boy is probably just very sticky. So, there's this wild story about a boy named Bogdan from Serbia, just 7 years old, who turned heads because he could make spoons and pans stick to him like he was a magnet. Can you believe it? This little guy's trick even got him on MSNBC, with folks wondering if he was some kind of real-life superhero. But then comes Benjamin Radford, this sharp guy from Skeptical Inquirer magazine, who's not quite sold on the whole magnetic kid idea. He's thinking if you're truly magnetic, you should be pulling in stuff from all directions, right? And get this, why would things like glass, which isn't magnetic at all, stick to him too? Makes you think, huh? So they dig a bit deeper into this mystery, and guess what? It's not even about being a human magnet. The real secret lies in the skin being super smooth and kind of sticky. It's like certain surfaces just can't help but cling to each other. And about that supposed magnetic field around Bogdan? Nope. Nothing there. A compass around him stays pointing north, not even twitching towards him. The science folks have a down-to-earth explanation. It's all about the skin's natural stickiness. Ever tried sticking a spoon on your nose? That's not magic. It's all about friction and grip. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Our skin's oily layer has this knack for getting along with stuff that's got a bit of surface energy, like metal, explains Gabor Samorjai, this smart chemist from UC Berkeley. And then there's the skin's stretchiness. Add a little sweat, and you've got the perfect setup for Bogdan's spoon-sticking antics, as Elmer Kroner, a materials scientist, would say. And fun fact, the famous skeptic James Randi showed that a bit of talcum powder can make that sticky ability slide right off. So, what looked like a superhero power turns out to be just a cool mix of science and a bit of body chemistry. So, We've just stepped into this amazing world of a group of people who seem to break all the rules of nature with what they can do. It's seriously cool, and I can't wait to hear what you think about these folks. Why not drop your thoughts in the comments and get a chat going? The way these individuals twist what we think is possible really blows my mind, you know?